Hello! Welcome to another Leah Bee Art video. I'm Leah, and I apologise because you can't actually see me. I'm in the middle of dyeing my hair. In this video, I'm going to teach you step by step how to draw GIR from Invader Zim. I'm going to break it down into 4 easy peasy steps. So without further ado, let's learn! Step number 1 is to find the container shapes that surround your main character, or the main elements of the character, and draw them in. So for GIR, I've drawn a square and I'm going to fit his head inside that square, or rectangle, whatever you want to call it. In this video, I'm going to be drawing GIR in 3 different positions, all in the dog costume. I can always do the robot, him without the costume, if you want, in a later video, but for now I think his most iconic look is him as a little doggy. So essentially I'm putting shapes around his body, and I've sped this up to 500% so you're not just bored looking at me trying to get lines in the right place all the time. We're not drawing him himself, we're literally just putting in guidelines and container shapes. This one's a bit more streamlined. As you can see, I've put a box around his head. I will be putting a proper rectangle around his body, like so. And then I've put a line down from his ear to his tongue. Now with this one, it's a bit more tricky. So I've done a box around the top part of his head, and then I've done triangles for the top part of his mouth, the bottom part, and then his torso as well. So he's a lot of triangles in this one. Then on to step 2. Find the shapes within the character to give yourself a roadmap. Essentially, I'm tracing. And this is quite easy, so I've done it quite quick. But essentially, it's just to give yourself a roadmap on where things are going and how to actually work with them. And you'll see why it's important in a minute. And these are our roadmaps. Yay! On to step 3. Draw your container shapes and then draw your roadmap within your container shapes. This makes it easy to build up basically a picture of what you need. So I've put my container shapes over the top of the reference, and then I've got my roadmap next to it. So I've drawn my container shapes and guidelines, and I'm going to basically draw my roadmap within my container shapes, and that's what I've done here. And this is how I'm able to essentially draw this quite quickly, because we've already done all the hard work essentially in the planning stage. The only thing that you need to do is just make a few adjustments if you put things in the wrong place, like I did, make things the right size, do a bit of tidy up, things of that nature. And then step 4 is the final outline, which is when everything's in the right place. We just draw around it and make it final. And I've done this for each one. And I just filled in the black bits. At this point I also did a bit of cleanup because the brush I was using was a bit messy. This doesn't have to be done on an iPad or digitally, this can be done just as easily on a sketchbook, in a sketchbook with tracing paper or anything to that effect. This is completely versatile and up to you of what you have at your disposal, basically. Now on to the second one. We're going to do step 3 again, which is draw the container shapes, and then we will draw our roadmap within the container shapes. This one didn't come out so great. However, I think my problem was I did the container shape at the beginning too long, or too wide rather, and that's why it came out a bit funny, but we live and learn. You can see I've tried to adjust a few things that I didn't think were correct. And by all means, please do this because it will help train you to recognise what is correct and what isn't on your characters and things that you draw. And as you can see, I'm just using the lasso tool to move a few items around, make sure they're in the correct place. But I still think his head's probably a bit too wide. But we know for next time. On to step 4 again, doing the final outline. And then just filling in the black areas as we did before. And a little bit of cleanup. And there we have our second GIR. Again, onto our third GIR, and we're doing our container shapes and our roadmap within the container shapes. As you can see on this one, I actually remembered to keep looking at what we've done previously to give myself a good chance of seeing where things are and actually putting them in the right place. And I mean, that's what our other drawings are for. They're for reference, so we need to use them as reference. Don't just ignore them like I did. And step 4 again, doing our final outlines on our final GIR drawing. And there we have our 3 finished final GIR drawings. hopefully you found this tutorial enlightening and now you know how to draw GIR as a dog. Next time I'll probably do him as a robot, because why not? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe and click the little bell. If you found it informative, then please consider sharing this video with your friends, and also leave me a comment in the comments below, because I love getting comments. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!